Hey, what is up guys? My name is BobLyn and welcome back to another video. Today we're taking a look at the new Tier 8 Soviet battleship, the Borodino. And this thing is pretty unique. It, as you can see, only has main guns in the front and it only gets 6 406mm guns. The rear two secondaries that are manual, as you can see here, are 180mm guns. So basically Nevsky and, Donskoy guns. They're pretty useful, but they're only in the rear. You do not get auto secondaries. This ship is, on paper at least, it does not sound very good. You know me, I do not like the Strasbourg. I do not like ships that rely. I don't like Marseille. I don't like them at all. But so my thoughts first when going into this was pretty negative, to say the least. But I was wrong, because there's something that the French battleships with their front-loaded cannons don't have, and that is good armor. The Borodino here is absolutely a tanking beast, and as you can see in the skills here, it's not lacking in that department either. You get two uses of Radar 3, which for a BB is very interesting and really good. I mean, Radar 3 covers a big area, and it's not something you see on BBs. I believe the only battleship that does have a radar is the Missouri, from my memory at least. There might be another one. But along with that, you get precise aiming too, as you can see, and some defensive. Now, the AA on this ship is not the best. You actually don't really have large caliber AA. I believe it's like 46 damage on the large caliber, which, I mean, that's pathetic. The small caliber though is pretty good actually, and in another game I had, I did shoot down 7 planes of a Indomitables, strike three squadrons. So it's alright, it's not bad AA actually. So the skills are pretty good, and it's tanky, and of course you get an extra damage control like the other Soviet battleships do. So I played with both Makarov, Kuznetsov, and a normal commander, and let me say, of course Kuznetsov helps every Soviet BB and ship for that matter, because you get the negative 5% damage from shells, enemy shells. It's flat out, it's very good. But this thing does not need a legendary commander. It's quite tanky and very consistent with these guns. As you can see, they're very accurate when you're using the precise aim, and this Ashitaka here is taking some good damage, but it's not, I mean, it's not crazy. Even with APCS, you don't get that many citadels, and I've even been brawling with this thing, even though you don't have auto secondaries. Just the pure fact that you can just bow in anybody and get most of your firepower off. Now your secondaries are pretty good in fighting close range and stuff, and they do have a quite good range. I believe it's somewhere around the 6 or 7 kilometers for these secondary turrets. Now, in my opinion, I mean, if it's a Donskoy turret, it should be a little longer, right? I mean, come on, man. No, I'm just joking. But they are accurate and they're pretty good. So here we're gonna be fighting this King George on the flank, and the game you're watching in the background is not actually a win. I'm gonna spoil it right now. We're gonna lose this game, but I don't know. I was just trying, to make this ship work. So I was a little bit tunnel visioned. I was just staying at the cap for the whole game, trying to do what I could, but I think my team just got kind of picked off, and this King George here took a lot of our attention. So I guess I shouldn't have focused him, because what was he realistically doing out there? Not really anything. I mean, we do get a lot of damage off of him, that's great, but yeah, that's about it. And as you can see, we don't really get that many citadels. These guns, these 406mm guns, I don't find that they're particularly special other than the fact that they're very consistent. That's a nice thing. They're consistent and they are pretty accurate too. Now, I run the dispersion mod 3. I think you kind of need that when you only have 6 guns. So that's also why in my commander build I went with the marksman upgrade and the extra precise aim. This ship only gets 2 precise aim, and that is the first citadel and a close quarters combat expert. Pretty cool little combo there we did. And there you can see the radar usage. We actually spot the Mahan way out. I mean, he is on the edge of our radar sitting in his smoke, and we actually spot him out. So very, very useful radar for something like Epicenter here, where the DDs are very powerful and can contest caps just by sitting behind that island, for example, or in their smoke. So now is the point in this game where we're gonna lose, because they have a pretty healthy force out there with a full health Bismarck, almost at least, full health Atlantico, which is the the worst thing, and then they have an Endracht who is pushing in as well. So this thing is not, special enough to kill an Atlantico. Sorry to say, guys. At least from the games I played, this thing is not powerful enough to take out Atlantico. So, yep, it's not an Atlantico killer, guys. It is not an Atlantico killer. You can maybe from range. I mean, if you bow in from range, of course you're gonna do damage. But if we're talking a situation where it's a life or death, he's full health, you're almost full health like we are here, you're gonna die. I mean, these secondaries are gonna maul you at some point. And your guns, they have a 19-second reload, which is good. This is without reload mod, of course. 19 seconds, of course, with supplies and all that stuff. It's just not enough, and I don't know, I kind of whiffed this shot. I was really hoping to take out the Endracht, but it doesn't happen. Of course, it's sad, but that's how it is. The reason I picked this gameplay is simply because we do get a lot of damage, and it showcases pretty good how this thing, maneuvers. I will say I like the maneuverability. I like the acceleration. Of course, that is if you're running the acceleration and steering the standard BB build. This thing actually does turn pretty quick, and the guns turn very fast as well. I did like that factor. You can spec into that as an elite bonus, but you can also spec into range, and that's what I took. So a very solid, consistent ship, but I have to say kind of bland. I mean, there's not much else to say. It's a solid Soviet BB with very good tanking capabilities because of the frontal guns. I would have liked to see maybe some auto secondaries, and I don't know why there's no large caliber AA on this huge ship. I actually don't see the reason for there not being large caliber AA. Maybe it's a typo. It could be a typo, I'm not too sure, Wargaming. If you just forgot to put like maybe a 3 or 4, I don't know. Because the AA actually feels pretty decent. I didn't spec into it, other than defensive AA expert, the commander skill, I did take that after seeing it was good. But yeah, you can see we can Citadel a Bismarck with APCS. This is not APCS plus, but it's possible. 116k damage, and to be honest, this ship is not a ship I'm gonna get. Now, I'm not a BB player as well, but I do think a lot of you BB players out there would actually enjoy this. But to be honest, I think a Richelieu might just be more fun. It does the same job, just kind of better. Here you can see the camo. It is it's a solid camo, buffs the guns dispersion. And like I said, I took firing range on my elite bonus. Here we see some of the stats. It's 406s with a 19-second reload, and I mean, nothing much else to say about the guns. 15.23 kilometers of range when we have this build. And it's quite tankish, you can see as well. Almost 50k hit points here at tier 8, which is decent. It's okay. And it goes 31 knots. It's not a slow BB either. And here you can see the large caliber AA, 47 only. I don't know why that is. Maybe it doesn't have any large caliber AA. Maybe it's intentional. I'm not sure. But yeah, here we see the build. I went with main battery mod 3, acceleration and steering. Pretty standard build. The commander I ran was Vitaly Troitsky, I think that's how you say it. Whatever. Artillery maintenance expert and air defense expert. You could also take Victoria's Challenge, but I like shooting planes, so that's why I have this. And even without the large caliber AA, you are going to kill some planes. It just means you're not going to kill them before they get close to you. I also took Fire Supremacy, then Generalist, and I have Marksman, and the reason I did this is because I want to buff the guns as much as possible, since we only have 6. I could have gone with the healing build here, but I went to opt in for, more gun accuracy and an extra precise aim, which I think you need. You only get 2, like I said, guys. You only get 2. Close Quarters Combat Expert is because I like Nevsky guns, and yeah, we have Nevsky guns as secondaries, so why not? So that's pretty much it, guys. A pretty standard BB to say. I do think a lot of people would enjoy this, to be honest. It's if you are a BB player, you like tanking, this thing can do the job. So I'm gonna give this a 6 out of 10. Now 6 out of 10 sounds bad, but think about it, it's above average. It's just not a lot above average. It's not special. What brings it above average for me is the Radar 3 and the fact that these guns are pretty solid actually for just being 6 of them. It's tanky too, so for me it's a solid ship, 6 out of 10. Probably one I'm not gonna get, you know, buying outright. I would be happy to get this in an event or a random crate drop. I would actually be happy. So yeah, my name has been BobLyn and I am signing out.